It all kicks off in the game, deep inside the cursed forest of Walberry. Picture this, a guy, standing there with blood all over his face, looking like he just lost a fight with a blender. And in front of him? A whole army. Oh, and not just soldiers, there's a girl casually sitting on a throne like it's her living room recliner. Her advisor leans in, panicking. What do we do? We tried everything and he still hasn't shown up. The girl thinks for a second, then with the kind of calm only villains have, she gives the order. Kill him. That's when the musclehead of the squad, you know the type, veins bigger than his brain, steps forward with an axe, ready to chop. Our poor guy doesn't even look like he's gonna fight back. But then, BM. Out of the woods, a white-haired figure drops in like it's a WWE entrance. One clean slash, and suddenly the whole mood shifts. Cheers erupt from the people who'd been knocked down. It's Harkin! Harkin's here! Meanwhile, the enemy soldiers panic scream. Kill him. Yeah, good luck with that. The soldiers charge, but Harkin just gives them that glowing stare. You already know what that means. 2 seconds later, bodies hit the floor like dominoes in a stiff breeze. And Harkin? Cool as ever. You think all of you charging me at once makes a difference? Please. Even if the whole server logged in right now, you still couldn't stop me. That's right. The name's Harkin. In the game, they call him the Hero Slayer. Behind him, his battered comrades are practically weeping. Sorry, Harkin. This is all our fault. We didn't think those bastards would trap everyone here. But Harkin, the chill legend that he is, just smiles. Don't worry about it. My fault too. Come on, get up. One guy's already tearing up like he's watching the finale of a K-drama. And then, enter the villainess. The one who just won't leave. She's been following Harkin around forever, trying, and failing, to beat him. He glares at her. You again, idiot. And honestly? Same, Harkin. I hate pretty villains too. Can't we get at least one ugly one so I can say, finish her, guilt-free? But nope, when the bad guy's cute, suddenly nobody wants to swing. Anyway, she stands up, smirking. Your little friendship reunion is touching, but you're still pathetic. Even if trash teams up, trash is trash. Her name? Sir. But in real life, she's Kelium, the Thunder Queen. Because of course she has a dramatic nickname. Harkin doesn't flinch. Every time someone tries to kill me, it's the same. They get humiliated and thrown out like garbage. You're no different. Sir's eyebrow twitches. You'll regret that. Harkin casually pulls up his watch, opens a slot, and materializes a mask and a sword. And not just any gear. Nope. A plus 99 legendary set. The crowd gasps. I groan. Because let's be real, masks in games? Always cringe. It's like a universal law. You can't equip a mask without looking like a rejected Power Ranger. Harkin points his sword. I've heard your speeches 1,000 times. They all end the same. Sir snaps. Kill him. Harkin just smirks, until, surprise twist. Stab. He gets shanked from behind. Classic betrayal. His so-called friends drive the blade in, and his HP plummets faster than crypto stocks. He hits the ground gasping. Sorry, Harkin. They say. We need the money too. Don't hate us. This was the best option. Yeah, nothing says best option. Like stabbing your guild leader in the kidney. Sir is now laughing like a hyena at a comedy show. See? Idiot. You chose friendship over money. Now you'll pay the price. She leans in, mocking him. Every time you log in from now on, we'll be waiting. We'll keep you trapped here, killing you over and over. No progress. No escape. And since this game's all you've got in life, well, say goodbye to everything. Harkin, bleeding out, still tries to rise. But nope, stabbed again. Arm, chest, stomach. At this point, it's less battle, and more sushi preparation. And then, with the audacity only a villainess can muster, Sir thanks him. Those traitors? They're just like me. Betrayed you for money. You're nothing. Our boy's face is wrecked, but he still whispers. Why? After everything I did for the guild. They claim it hurts them too. Yeah, sure. 100 million gold makes betrayal so painful. As he fades out, the screen fills with system messages. You died. Warning, you cannot play for the next 48 hours. Harkin wakes up inside his capsule, back in his messy little room, and yeah, he's absolutely wrecked. Somehow, he really did lose everything in the game. Must be one of those hardcore types. You die, you lose it all. The game's name? Warlord. When it launched, it blew up worldwide. A game with living AI, real stakes, and the potential to earn ridiculous amounts of money. Globally, people fought tooth and nail to climb its ranks. And if there was one thing Harkin was good at, if there was one thing in his entire miserable life he excelled at, it was this game. In real life? People called him trash. A nobody. But in Warlord? He was everything. He remembered the first time it all began. He was out there killing goblins when some guy came up, saw his skill, and asked about his level. The dude was strong, held out his hand, and said, "Want to start a guild? Let's grow together." And just like that, Harkin had found his place. His only home. His only family. But now, after being betrayed? Oh no. There's no way in hell he's forgiving those bastards. He grabs his jacket, storms out of the house, yelling at the empty street that he'll find every single one of them in real life and kill them dead. The revenge arc is officially on. Except, nobody picks up when he calls. He's muttering, swearing that there's no way those backstabbers deserve a happy life after what they did to him, when, here it comes. The traffic light. The blinding headlights. The cliché every anime fan knows by heart. Yep. Truckin'. And not just any truck. Oh no, fate decided to spice things up. It's a freaking garbage truck. What a disgrace. Betrayed in game, humiliated in death. He's lying there bleeding on the pavement, his phone glowing beside him, call still failing, the screen taunting him with number can't be reached. And all Harkin can think is, out of every truck in the world, why did it have to be a garbage truck? Face down on the pavement, blood pooling, he groans. No, not now. Not before I get revenge. Not like this. And then flash. A blinding light. A system screen pops up. Connecting. Verifying player progress. Welcome, Harkin. Complete the tutorial and survive the labyrinth of the Minotaur. His eyes go wide. This is Warlord. But hold up. The Minotaur? In the tutorial? That boss was deleted years ago for being way too busted. Hey, newbie! A voice yells. Quit spacing out, focus! We've got a Minotaur to kill! Several players are already dead around him. The survivors are freaking out, trying to strategize. Harkin blinks. Wait, what? This game only launched 10 months ago. That thought hits him harder than the truck did. 10 months. 10 months. 10 months. His teammates are still talking battle plans when they suddenly notice something horrifying. Harkin's already charging straight at the monster. Hey, you crazy? You trying to die? The Minotaur swings its massive axe, only for Harkin to sidestep, slash, and in seconds, the beast collapses. Dead. The players stare. What? Who the hell kills a Minotaur in one attack? Impressed, one guy steps forward. Hey man, you've got real talent. I don't usually do this, but want to join my guild? And this is where, in another story, Harkin would smile, shake hands, and start his new journey. Not here. He stands cold as ice. I made a decision not long ago. They ask. What decision? He answers by casually slashing one of them across the chest. The others scream. What the hell, man? He growls. I'm not trusting anyone. Not anymore. From now on, I'm going solo. The hero's slayer is back. And when he finally pulls off the headset, he's not at home. He's in a dingy little gaming cafe, surrounded by glowing capsules. An exhibition hall. And then it hits him. 5 years ago, this was his life. Dirt poor, broke, ruined. The only way he could play was in public shops like this. Which meant, somehow, someway, he really had gone back in time. Harkin doesn't waste a second. He bolts outside, laser-focused, 5 years of knowledge burning in his brain. If he uses it right, his revenge is guaranteed. He storms into a store, slams his credit card on the counter, and demands, I want the new V model delivered to my home. Today. The lady behind the counter raises an eyebrow. Sir, how exactly are you planning to pay for that? You're broke. Completely broke. Like eating instant noodles out of a cracked bowl broke. Her words cut deeper than any sword. Harkin freezes. He'd been so caught up in rage, he forgot the obvious. Of course he doesn't have money. If he did, why would past him have been gaming in a place like this? He smacks his forehead. He's got the knowledge. He's got the plan. But no capsule means no game. And the more time he wastes, the further behind he'll fall. That's when a voice echoes through the shop. What are you waiting for? The strong don't fear challenges. Hesitation is for the weak. Rise above fear, and become a true warlord. Harkin turns. And of course, it's her. Thunder Queen Seer. Ranked number 1 in the world. The exact same woman he wants to murder more than anyone else alive. Of course it had to be her. And you know what? He actually nods. You're right. No time to hesitate. Cut to his home. The VR capsule is already there, perfectly installed. The tech guy dusts his hands. Everything's set up. You're good to go. And Harkin? He's ready to dive back in. This time, no mercy. No friends. No forgiveness. Only revenge. So, how does our boy get the money for his shiny new capsule? Obviously, like any honest man would, from a loan shark. But not just any loan shark. No, this guy caters specifically to desperate gamers who want VR capsules. The least suspicious man alive, standing in an alleyway with gold teeth and a smile too wide, says, If it's 10 million you need, I got you. But, of course, he then slams a knife into the table, right between Harkin's fingers, and whispers, If you don't pay me back, your life's gonna turn into a living hell. Naturally, Harkin doesn't flinch. He's ready to walk through hell anyway. Revenge waits for no man. The deal's made. Capsule delivered. He's back online. System, identifying user. Confirmed. Welcome back to the world of Warlord, Harkin. And suddenly, there he is, standing in the starting zone. And hold on. Does he look like Jack Frost from that Disney movie? The ice kid with the staff? Yeah. Except this Jack Frost is here to kill people, not spread Christmas cheer. He waits. He knows she should be showing up soon. If he remembers correctly, her name was Aerie. And boom. There she is. The goddess herself. The designers of this game clearly didn't waste time. She's rocking that slightly demonic vibe, Glowing eyes, horns, wings, the whole package. Her name's Ariadne, and she introduces herself as his career guide. Also, side note, Ariadne? That's probably the most Brazilian-sounding name I've ever seen in a fantasy game manual. But hey, we roll with it. She spreads her hands. Adventurer, please choose your starting class. He's got 3 options. Warrior, frontline fighter. Solid, but meh for souling. Harkin's tried them before. Pass. Cleric. Ariadne doesn't even finish the explanation before Harkin interrupts. Nope. Pass. No way in hell am I babysitting anyone ever again. Which leaves Mage. Before he knows it, some old man with a floating book materializes. His name's Gullo, the wise guide for mages. He starts his whole speech about the noble path of magic. But Harkin cuts him off instantly. Dark magic. That's what I want. Gullo blinks. Sorry, did you mean arcane magic? No. Dark. As in necromancy. Skeletons. Skulls. Spooky stuff. Let's go. The old man frowns. Kid, dark magic will rip your soul apart. You'll regret it. Harkin stares him dead in the eye. Don't care. Teach me. And just like that, Gullo melts away, his face twisting into a grinning skull. Well. It's been a long time since anyone chose this path. Place your hand on the book, if you dare. Before the warning even finishes, Harkin slams his hand down. The skeleton cackles. Oh, this is going to be fun. And boom. He's officially a necromancer. Title unlocked, innate necromancer. Skill unlocked, skeleton fragment. He tests it right away. A skull appears in his palm, he tosses it to the ground, and bones begin knitting themselves together, consuming mana, forming into his very first summon. Success. His first skeleton. His bony boy. His minion of doom. Except, it looks like a rejected Halloween decoration from the dollar store. And before he can even celebrate, the skeleton's head falls off. Right there. Plop. Harkin face bombs. This class is gonna be hell. He checks the stats. Proficiency rank, F. He can only summon 1 weak skeleton. In other words, he picked the worst possible starter class. But he refuses to quit. It's grind time. Cue the test run. A pack of wolves shows up, training mobs, easy XP. Perfect. He summons the skeleton again, sends it charging in. And the skeleton roars. Yeah. Roars. Without lungs. Don't ask questions. Logic has no place here. Surprisingly, the wolves back up, a little spooked. Harkin grins. Maybe this won't be so bad. The skeleton charges forward, swings. And instantly gets obliterated in 1 hit. Poof. Gone. The bones scatter across the ground like sad puppy toys. Harkin stares in disbelief. How is this my only skill? It can't even beat the weakest mobs in the game. He digs into the menu and finally notices something. There are different modes. Attack mode. Defense mode. Special mode. Okay. Maybe that was the problem. He resummons it in defense mode. The skeleton immediately crumbles while the wolves treat its bones like chew toys. He tries special mode. The skeleton spawns, and starts doing Fortnite dances. Dead serious. Harkin just stands there, watching his one and only minion flossing at a pack of wolves. This is it. This is rock bottom. He's been betrayed by his guild, stabbed in the back, hit by a garbage truck, forced into debt with a gamer loan shark, and now his legendary necromancer path is basically a comedy act. At this point, he's ready to let another truck finish the job. But then he remembers something in the system notes. Summoned creatures are equipped with an advanced combat learning system. And just like that, there's hope. Because if even this clumsy bone clown can learn, maybe, just maybe, Harkin can turn it into a monster. The grind begins. Harkin remembered something funny. Back when he was fighting those wolves, his skeleton wasn't even helping. The bony little idiot was just standing there, holding its own head like a popcorn bucket, quietly watching him. Probably studying his movements, right? Harkin stood up, cracked his neck, and muttered. That damn thing's lucky to have me as a teacher. Doesn't look like it, but plenty of people used to call me a genius, even back in my old guild. I was the guy who trained half of the top-ranking players, you know. The first thing the skeleton needed to learn was the golden rule of combat. If you don't dodge, you die. And so, naturally, the skeleton took a punch straight to the face and went flying onto its back. But instead of learning a lesson, the little guy bounced back up, grinning like a drunk toddler ready to take another one square in the jaw. Bam, slammed into the wall again. Harkin was losing it. Stop standing there like an idiot. If you're gonna eat a hit, at least think about a counter or something. You can't just tank punches like you're auditioning for a punching bag role. Do you understand me? The skeleton paused, wiped the dust off its skull, and adjusted its stance. Finally, it looked ready. Cut to the next fight. The wolves again. This time, the skeleton crouched low, dodged an attack, and sliced one across the throat, then gutted another like it was carving Thanksgiving turkey. Harkin blinked. Oh great. Turns out I'm not just a necromancer. I'm a damn monster trainer too. The skeleton stood there, bones practically sparkling, gazing at him like a proud puppy who just learned its first trick. Knock it off with that look. Harkin barked. We're still in battle. No time for distractions. Then, after a beat. But that last move wasn't bad at all. Ding! Proficiency with skeleton fragment has increased. Ding! Proficiency with skeleton fragment has increased. Ding! Proficiency with skeleton fragment has increased. Both of them glowed gold. Herkin smirked. You passed the test. And right then, level up. The scene shifted to Fig's castle, the bustling hub of the beginners area. Players filled the streets, chattering about joining guilds, forming parties, or planning hunts in the spider forest. The air buzzed with that. Early game MMO. Energy, hopeful, clueless, and way too optimistic. Herkin walked through the crowd, arms crossed, thinking, maybe teaching that skeleton wasn't a waste after all. Wouldn't be long before I'm clearing dungeon solo. But his real goal was looming, level 10. That's when the real grind started. Suddenly, a chubby guy grabbed his arm. Hey, you not gonna apologize for bumping into me? Herkin froze. Loter thugs? Great. These guys were yelling, puffing up their chests, talking big, and Herkin was already considering just wiping them all out and moving on. One of the thugs wound up to punch him. And bam, his fist was stopped mid-swing by a tan, blonde guy who seemed to appear out of nowhere. Just cause the kid bumped into you doesn't mean you get to beat people down. Blondie said, calm but firm. He had that solo player vibe. The kind of guy who shows up in every MMO, ripped, veiny arms, radiating main character energy. The thug snarled. You with him? Nope. Blondie shrugged. But judging by Herkin's face, this guy was no joke. His aura screamed danger. This bastard was none other than Shev the Slayer. Yeah, the name kinda sounded like a Mexican street fighter, but in reality? He was one of the highest ranked warrior class players. Herkin's brain stalled. What the hell is Shev doing here? The thug spit at the ground. Move if you're not with him. We got business to finish. Shev didn't budge. His aura flared, so heavy it made even Herkin's knees wobble, though, to be fair, Herkin didn't have any stats yet. The chubby thug turned pale instantly. Shev's grin widened. You hit my palm, buddy. That means I gotta get payback. One of the lackeys panicked and blurted out. Wait, that's CH the Slayer. Guild Master of Red Bull, top 30 guild. Okay, top 30 wasn't exactly legendary, but Shev was infamous for one thing, being completely addicted to fighting. The thug folded instantly. Sorry, he stammered before sprinting off like his pants were on fire. Shev laughed. Man, this world's amazing. You can solve everything just by talking. He slapped Herkin's shoulder. You good, little punk? Herkin brushed his hand off, ice cold. Don't bother trying to help me. Then he walked away, leaving Shev scratching his head, wondering why that kid was so damn frosty. Meanwhile, Herkin was already sprinting off, putting as much distance between them as possible. For a moment there, he'd actually felt intimidated by that overwhelming power. His stomach twisted at the thought, Sir and Shev had been equals once, back in the day. And right now? The gap was ridiculous. Herkin clenched his fists. Next time we meet, I won't be the same weakling. Dungeon run? Not yet. Instead, he sat alone, slumped and sulking, realizing just how far behind he'd fallen. If he wanted revenge, he'd need to climb a hell of a lot higher. Right then, the flamestone wolf comes diving from above, jaws blazing, claws ready to shred. Herkin braces himself, but before he can even move, his little skeleton buddy launches in like some undead superhero. Lance first, the bony dude slams the beast to the ground, skewers it, finishes it off, and then, sparkle, levels up. He's standing there, practically glowing with pride, grinning at Herkin like, Did you see that, boss? I'm cracked. Herkin, of course, just mutters. 3 whole days to hit level 10? Pathetic. And just like that, poof, the skeleton goes from shiny Pokemon to sad balloon. Poor guy. At least the system has the decency to congratulate him. With that, the training dungeon is clear, Herkin's beginner tag vanishes, and his starter rewards pop up. On his wrist, the War Watch materializes, status, quest, map, inventory, messages, the whole gamer UI package. Herkin is hyped. If there's one thing he loves, it's looking at his own status screen. Until he actually looks. Level 10. Class, Necromancer. Strength 3, Stamina 3, Intelligence 5, Mana 5. Basically, hot garbage. The system prompts him to distribute his new stat points. He hesitates. Everyone knows a Necromancer should go Intelligence and Mana. But Herkin? Nope. He dumps everything into Strength. Boom. Strength shoots up by a freaky amount. He's glowing like he just stepped out of a shounen anime, absolutely pleased with himself. Meanwhile, the skeleton is on the verge of tears. His boss didn't raise mana at all, which means he won't get any stronger. He's basically sobbing. Herkin smacks him on the skull. Snap out of it. Mana's useless this early. Strength's what keeps us alive. Plus, I'll pass my old skills down to you, so trust me. The little guy sniffles, sparkles again, and beams like his faith has been restored. Good. Now get your bony butt back to training. Cut to the Hunters Association, city of Figus. Adventurers are crowding around, shouting, some dudes flashing a card, yelling that a new quest just dropped. People are scrambling like it's Black Friday at Walmart. Meanwhile, Herkin strolls past like, El Mayo, what a circus. He goes to the counter. Yo, my man, got any quests? Mind if I peek? The dwarf behind the desk leans in. Careful, lad. These are the toughest ones. No one's dared touch him. Herkin checks the list. Trash. Absolute trash. But wait, he spots it. A hidden gem. Quest: eliminate all creatures in the Bama Mountains. Reward: a measly 10 gold. Everyone else skips it, but Hurricane knows the secret. Clear this before level 15 and you unlock the prospect title. Boost intelligence and mana by a percentage. Exactly what he needs for his busted build. Done. I'll take it. The dwarf tries to stop him. That mission's low level, barely worth the effort. But Hurricane waves him off. He knows better. Bama Mountains. Our hero appears, fully decked out in, let's call it, clowncore. Bunny helmet, garish shirt, bare boots. Man looks like a discount jester. This is the kind of character I'd make and say, "Bro, you're dripped out in irony." Hurricane? Absolutely mortified. He spent all his gold on his skeleton, leaving himself broke and forced into this nightmare outfit. He mutters that he has to clear this fast, before anyone sees him like this. Cue the universe saying, "Bet." From the bushes, a bloody hand reaches out. Some poor guy, shredded and begging for help, crawls into view. Clearly betrayed by his party. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the mountains, another player spawns. Full armor, shiny gear, yelling about how he's destined to be a top ranker. Classic MMO clown energy. Someone calls for help, claiming a wolf attacked their friend. Mr. Hero rushes in, offers them a potion, and then wham! Club to the back of the skull. Turns out it was a trap. His patients laugh in his face, loot his war watch, and brag about how satisfying it is to kill rich newbies. One guy's literally wearing 30 watches up his arm, looking like a medieval Rolex salesman. This is the PK Guild Ralph family. Back to Hurricane and his skeleton. They're mowing through wolves like it's nothing. Regular wolves, blue wolves, red wolves, purple wolves, the standard MMO. Copy-paste but stronger. Line up. Hurricane snaps his fingers, unleashing his skeleton in full attack mode. The little guy goes feral, tearing through mobs like a rabid bunny. They take down an ancient tree wolf, earning 375 XP. Hurricane wipes a tear. A real gamer doesn't care about looks. What matters is efficiency. Skeleton stands there, touched, like they just had a bromance moment. Hurricane ruins it immediately. Quit being dramatic. We've got mobs to clear. Twang! An arrow smacks right into the skeleton's skull. He freezes, hand on his head like, "Bro, did I just take an arrow to the dome?" From the trees, they appear, the Ralph family. The mage steps forward, scratching his head and apologizing. "Sorry, man. From a distance, I thought your skeleton was a monster." Hurricane waves it off. "It's fine. But let's be real. He's no fool. He already clocked the bloody weapon and that shiny stack of watches strapped to the guy's wrist. More than enough to know what kind of players they are. Bold. Arrogant. The usual scumbag brand. Still, Hurricane decides to play alone. "I'll forgive you, on one condition. Hand over a mana potion." The mage shrugs. "Too bad, we don't have any potions. But hey, when you level up, you recover mana anyway. So how about we help you grind a little, yeah? We'll weaken the monsters, you just finish them off. Easy XP." Hurricane narrows his eyes. "You sure about that?" "Of course." The guy grins. "Least we can do." Cue the perfect timing, monsters spawn right on schedule. The trio puts on their Good Samaritan act, but the second the mage turns his back, he whispers to his buddies. "Remember the plan. Grow the monsters, buff the wolves, and let one slip through formation. Kid won't see it coming, boom, dead on the spot." Classic scumbag setup. Too bad it falls apart instantly. Because what do they see? Hurricane skeleton absolutely wrecking a wolf in a single clean strike. Hurricane whistles, genuinely impressed. Oh, that was nice. Keep it up, buddy. You guys are really helping out." The trio? Sweating bullets. Crap. He can actually fight, even against buffed monsters. So, escalation mode, they unleash multiple wolves at once, hoping the chaos distracts him. And while Hurricane's focused forward, one creeps up behind him with a club. Swings straight for his skull. But Hurricane just crouches, smooth as butter, dodging it clean. Then one fluid motion, SHHHHK. His blade flashes, ripping the guy's mask clean off as his body splits open. The other two freeze. Snap! Hurricane clicks his fingers. Skeleton charges in, blue mana flaring, sprinting in those adorable lion paw boots. The pair scream for mercy. "Wait! We can talk!" But it's too late. One gets a hole in the chest, the other a blade through the ribs. Bodies hit the grass like party confetti. Hurricane's voice goes cold. "You're the kind of people I hate the most. Bastards who stab others in the back. If it had been the old me, maybe this would have worked. But too bad, I'm not that guy anymore." One begs, offering to return all the stolen loot. Hurricane just sighs. "Sorry. I don't trust anyone anymore." Slash. Throat gone. Player Ralph has been killed. 8 watches clatter to the ground. Hurricane stares. 8 other players? That bastard. Tragic. Such a shame. But hey, now he's stuck with all these lovely items. Life's rough sometimes. Meanwhile, the skeleton is busy stomping the guy's ribcage like it's bubble wrap. Cute on the outside, savage on the inside. Hurricane pats its head. "Alright, you maniac. Here, take some gear." The skeleton lights up, blushing like it just got picked first at dodgeball. Fully equipped, sparkling with joy. Hurricane smirks. "Don't get too hung up on looks. Stats are what matter," says the same guy who just went full fashion mode himself. Skeleton side-eyes him like, bruh, you literally care about looks more than I do. Loot check. Dark Goblin Pants. Moose Mana Plus Intelligence Buff. Ancient Tree Essence Sword. Demonic Curse Skill Book. Actual gold. Better than most dungeons. Jackpot. And the cherry on top? A creepy, ugly mask. Herkin slaps it on, looking cringe as hell. From now on, I'm recording all my gameplay. Identity is important. It even triggers a memory. Someone once told him the same thing. They joked about calling it the Haho mask. But back to business. Games changed. Herkin doesn't want anyone else involved in his life. This mask will be proof. He's going full solo. Well, solo. Still rolling with his skeleton bro. Together they hop through a portal into the Bema Mountains dungeon. Herkin, now rocking his cursed mask, mutters that the game really needs a hide equipment option. The mobs here? Blue werewolves. Tough fights, but with his new loot, Herkin's confident. After hours of battling, the skeleton even gives him a thumbs up. But something's off. They haven't run into a single monster. Not one. If someone had cleared the dungeon already, he'd get a notification. So where the hell were they? That's when he notices his skeleton hacking at the wall. He steps closer, and there it is. A dark portal. Special dungeon discovered. Enter? Herkin groans. Of course. Special dungeons inside other dungeons, harder, deadlier, with way better rewards. Catch is, once you enter, you either clear it or you die. And if he dies, he's locked out of the game for 2 days. The smart move would be to walk away. But come on, when has a protagonist ever done the smart thing? Herkin steps forward. All I have to do is clear it. Here we go. The sunlight blasts him in the face, and boom, Herkin's suddenly standing dead center in a massive coliseum. Classic. You just know something's about to go horribly wrong. Sure enough, the ground starts shaking. And what do you know, out struts a three-eyed werewolf the size of a truck. A corrupted creature. Level? Yeah, the kind of thing you're not supposed to fight until you've read at least 3 guides and watched 2 tutorials. Herkin knows what corrupted means, but before he can even blink, the beast is already swinging. One claw to the face, wham. He blocks, but still gets launched like a baseball and smacks into the wall. Ouch. His poor skeleton minion barely understands what's happening, but still manages to square up, ready to throw down. Meanwhile, the corrupted werewolf is laughing like it just won the lottery. Herkin, unfazed as always, yells, "If we kill this thing, we're skipping dinner!" Because priorities. The duo charges. The skeleton does the classic launch assist, hurling Herkin into the air like a budget trampoline. The beast leaps up, fangs bared, time for a dramatic bite. But nope, Herkin slaps down a new skill, Inflict Curse. Suddenly all 3 of the monster's eyes glaze over like it just binged an entire soap opera. Then slash. Herkin chops the thing's arm clean off. The werewolf roars, its stats dropping by 10%. Honestly, losing an arm feels like it should be worth more than a measly 10%, but okay, game balance. Except, plot twist, the damn thing regenerates the arm. Yeah, suddenly that 10% debuff is looking like a much better deal. Now the beast enters rage mode. Oh. Herkin cracks a grin and says, "Special dungeons are never easy. I was saving this for later, but the time has come." He taps his war watch and boom. Dark Scion energy swirls around him. The kid just unlocked transformation mode like he's auditioning for Dragon Ball. See, this is Warlord's slot-on system. Activate it, and you borrow raw power from the game world itself. The result? Players call it Ultimate Mode. Not subtle, but hey, it works. The werewolf charges again, jaws snapping. But Herkin's gone full acrobat, dodging every attack, stepping back like he's in a dance-off. This is what I expected from a boss. He mutters. Power, speed, reflexes, everything on a different level. Translation. This thing can two-shot me tops. But then, stomp. The werewolf smashes the ground, rage phase unlocked. Herkin pauses midair, muttering. Oh crap. I forgot about the rage phase. Luckily, the werewolf forgot something too. Remember that skeleton? Yeah, he's back, tearing the beast's arm off, again. Loyal little guy. Herkin yells for their practiced combo move. The beast flinches, confused. Too late. They dash in. Twin glowing blue slashes cut deep. This time? The monster's toast. Mission complete. Beast subjugated. Rewards roll in. Herkin gets 20,000 gold, kinda SUS for 1 fight, a werewolf pelt, and oh, the corrupted tracker's necklace. Plus 18 to all stats, can't be sold, tier, chronic. Which is apparently above unique. Yeah, good luck topping that. Meanwhile, the skeleton levels up with a ranky promotion fragment. Not bad for a guy with no skin. On top of that, 3 new titles unlock. Promising newcomer, boost intelligence and magic. Hero challenger, give stamina. Corrupted tracker, special effect, unknown. Always a good sign. Herkin sees the name Corrupted Tracker, and something clicks. This is tied to the very first chapter of the main quest, the Count of Corruption. For context, the main quest isn't just any quest, it's basically the spine of the entire game world. Rewards are insane, every player dreams of touching it, and it's the fastest ticket to glory. In his last life, Herkin didn't even sniff this until chapter 4. But now, he triggered it this early. He grins, shaking with excitement, and mutters, "I just found a gold mine." Then logs out. like a true gamer. Back home, Herkin's scrolling through the news feed when, bam, Hydra Guild drops a bomb. They've officially entered the final chapter of Count of Corruption and plan to clear it in just 3 months. Herkin just stares, dead inside. The quest he finally unlocked? Already on the chopping block. Might as well pack up, call it quits, and prep for the next chapter, right? Except then he remembers. Wait a sec. This isn't the end. This is opportunity knocking with brass knuckles. The whole game world is buzzing about this quest. Hype levels max. And Herkin? He's got footage. Actual content. All he has to do is upload it. Problem? He needs an editor. And there's only one name for the job. Romani. aka the God of Editing. Past life legend. Current, well, questionable. See, I don't want to assume anything here. The glossy lips, the soft pink hair, it could be a girl. Or it could be the most delicate-looking dude you've ever seen. Either way, Romani gets his request and laughs. A level 15 newbie wants an edit? Must be some spoiled kid flexing. But when they, still pending investigation, actually watches the footage? Boom, instant smile. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Turns out, her name's Romy. In-game, she goes by the very subtle Hellmouth. Cue scene change, skyscraper shot. Enter another girl. And not just any girl. The moment she opens her mouth, Herkin's like, oh no, it's her. The Thunder Witch. Yup, the number 1 ranked player herself, Chaselin, aka Thunder Queen. She summons her assistant and demands intel. He tries to brush it off. Boss, relax, it was just a low-level werewolf. But she's pouting, and when the Thunder Queen pouts, kingdoms tremble. I want him. Bring me that kid. Yikes. Meanwhile, Herkin's casually losing his mind. His channel, previously rocking a glorious 0 subs, is now sitting at 6,000 views overnight. And thank goodness, this story actually treats numbers realistically. No. First video equals 70 million subs. Nonsense. Herkin even notes it. Back in my past life, it took me months to get this far. Respect. And who's sliding into his DMs? Romy. Already asking if he's seen the views? He tries to brush her off. Yeah, I saw. Cold. But she's not letting go. She even takes credit. That's the power of my editing. Though, to be fair, she tosses him a bone. Your footage wasn't bad either. Cue red roses. Is Romy a guy? A girl? A really committed troll? Nobody knows. This world is dangerous, my friends. Later, Herkin's lying in his capsule when she texts again. When's the next video? Problem is, he's got nothing. You don't just stumble across a corrupted werewolf every day. Still, strike while the iron's hot, right? Time to find content. And he's not the only one watching. Over in the Red Bull Guild, yes, totally not a copyright problem waiting to happen, Chevalier is obsessing over the Masked Kid video. He swears the kid moves like a pro. His guildmate Yella tells him to quit fangirling, but he won't shut up. Even his summon looked trained. She just groans and drags him off to their show. Cut to stadium. 200,000 fans. All screaming for Chev, the Red Bull leader. Insane. The gates open, he gears up, shouts. 3, 2, 1. And charges. Big spectacle. Back in Figus, our boy Herkin's moping again. His dream quest got sniped by Hydra. What's left? Fetch quests. Kill 3 wolves. Plant some daisies. Soul-crushing stuff. Then, plot twist, old man Hatan shows up. Pulls Herkin into a private room and goes. So, about that mutant you ran into yesterday. Herkin's confused. Did he trigger some secret flag? Apparently yes. Hatan says the creature was likely corrupted by dark power. It's dangerous, unknown, and already killing adventurers. He's about to ask for help when Herkin grabs his arm, full melodrama mode. You can count on me. I'll give everything for this nation. I'll slay these monsters. The Oscar goes to Herkin. Hatan hesitates, says it's too much responsibility. But Herkin insists. Waiting means more people die. Dramatic. Stirring. Over the top. Exactly the kind of performance needed to unlock, yep. Secret quest acquired. Herkin's got a new mission. Deliver a recommendation letter to some guy named Ahimri, who lives in Bangsa Castle east of Figus. Sounds simple, right? Hand over the letter, maybe learn a spell or 2, done deal. But here's the kicker, Ahimri isn't just any guy. Nope. He's one of the 7 disciples of the legendary mage Bokin. That's basically saying, congratulations, you just got invited to Hogwarts, but by Dumbledore's cooler apprentice. Every mage in the game dreams of meeting him. Training under this dude? Unlocking some of the best skills in the entire game. Jackpot. Herkin's already bouncing on his toes, ready to sprint out the door, but then screeches to a halt. Wait. Prep work first. So he drags out the skeleton. Yes, the bunny boy skeleton. The OG minion. Turns out, he's been hoarding loot. First up, the werewolf skull from the last fight. The system asks, do you want to use this to strengthen your skeleton? Herkin clicks yes. Boom. Suddenly, the skeleton's rocking a creepy skull helmet and gets +2 endurance. Not bad, not bad. Next, Herkin equips the corrupted tracker's necklace, +18 to all stats and some extra class buffs. Now he's juiced. But wait, there's more. He pulls out 2 more skeleton fragments and tosses them down like pokeballs. Boom boom, 2 new skeletons spawn. Problem is, they look nothing like the first. No matching drip, no shared vibe. And the original skeleton? Absolutely devastated. Poor guy thought he was the chosen one. Now he's just skeleton number 1 out of 3. Herkin shrugs. Get used to it. We're a trio now. Protagonist casually betraying his only friend, classic Herkin. Anyway, time for field testing. A giant level 25 forest beast charges in. Claw swipe incoming. Herkin dodges like it's nothing thanks to his new stats. Smooth. But when it comes to the skeletons? Oh boy. Skeleton number 2 charges in, and immediately gets smacked across the forest like a baseball. Herkin. This idiot doesn't even know what a blind spot is. Skeleton number 3 tries the exact same thing, and gets slapped even harder. Herkin. Are you serious? Copying failure? Finally, the OG skeleton steps up all smug, like, watch me carry, peasants. Herkin even blushes a little, thinking this one won't let him down. The skeleton charges in, and instantly gets his skull punted clean off. Herkin. You idiots! Now all 3 are just standing there, holding their skulls, like, ow, my head hurts. Do skeletons even have brains? Technically no, but Herkin's about to lose his. See, the problem isn't their power. They're fine one-on-one. But teamwork? Non-existent. Herkin never taught them synergy, so they just run around like 3 headless chickens. And to make things worse, keeping them all active burns triple the mana. So far, it's 3 times the cost for worse results. Herkin face bombs. Forget it. You hit level 20, that was the goal. No more training video. We're marching straight to Bangsa Castle. Cut to Bangsa Castle Tavern. Place is packed. Suddenly, a man walks in and the whole room lights up. Everyone's pulling at him, begging for attention. Herkin's just standing at the door like pathetic scavengers. Leeches. Trash players who can't grind on their own. He despises this kind. A bald guy sidles up. Hey kid, interested in a really good quest? Herkin. Go screw yourself. Skull savage. He heads for the stairs, flashes Hoten's recommendation letter, and the doorman waves him up. Meanwhile, all the other players are getting blocked, begging to go through. Our boy just struts past like he owns the place. Now he's hyped. Because this isn't just a quest, this is a secret quest. A once-in-a-lifetime chance to build a long-term bond with a legendary NPC. Whatever reward Heinrich has in store, Herkin knows one thing for sure, this is the start of something big. Herkin finally steps into Himri's legendary chamber, and immediately regrets it. The place looks less like a wizard study and more like a teenager's room after exam week. Books everywhere. Chaos. Probably smells like burnt parchment too. From behind a wobbling tower of tomes, a cranky voice calls out. Who the hell are you? Out comes Himri the Great, except instead of looking like a wise sage, he looks like a slob who just crawled out of bed. Herkin stunned. This is the legendary mage? This is the guy people write fanfic about. Still, he pulls himself together, introduces himself, and drops the name of his sponsor, Hatan. Himri squints at him, then smirks. For someone your level, you're not half bad. Black mage, huh? Fine. Since you came all the way here, here's your reward. Boom. 2 new skills drop into Herkin's lap. Bone armor and helm of madness. He's glowing red, practically crying tears of joy. He even bows his head like he's receiving a diploma. But Himri just waves it off. Yeah? That's it. Mission over. Now scram. Herkin freezes. What? That's it. No. He didn't come all this way just for a tutorial handout. He needs to build a relationship. He needs the real mission. So he starts begging, dodging floating books, swearing he'll do anything. Literally anything. Himri pauses, grins, and goes. Anything, huh? Alright then. Ding. New mission received, nest egg. Reward? Absolutely nothing. Herkin's eyes go wide. Wait, what? I just got scammed by an NPC? Too late. Himri slams the door in his face and kicks him out like yesterday's trash. Herkin stumbles outside, sulking like a kid who dropped his ice cream. He thought he'd unlock some legendary chain quest. Instead, he's chasing after a worthless egg. And just when he's about to ugly cry, bam. The beggar squad shows up again, swarming him like seagulls around fries. Hey bro! What quest did you get? Herkin's about to blow a gasket when... Move. The crowd parts. Enter, mysterious armored guy. Dripping in gear so expensive it probably costs more than Herkin's life savings. The man walks straight up to him and says, You. We need to talk. If I had $1 million, I'd bet this is the same butler-looking dude who showed up earlier with Sir. Herkin's not in the mood, but the guy drops one line that freezes him. It would be wise for the one wearing the whole mask to have a quick conversation. Excuse me? Mask? They duck into an alley. Mr. Glasses apologizes for dragging him out of the street. It wasn't the right place for a proper chat. Herkin's side-eyeing this guy hard. That armor screams. Big deal. But how the hell does he know who Herkin is? Then comes the big question. Are you the one they call the whole mask? Herkin plays dumb. Blank stare. Mask? Bro, what mask? You've got the wrong guy. Inside he's panicking, but outside he's acting like a clueless newbie. The armored man studies him, then, shockingly, believes him. He even bows his head and apologizes. Herkin casually shakes his hand, brushes it off, and walks away with the swagger of a man who just bluffed his way out of bankruptcy. I'll let it slide this time, but maybe stop picking fights in alleys, yeah? The guy stays behind, silent. Then, whoosh, a tall woman appears beside him. Dead serious, assassin vibes. She mutters, "That's not the guy we're looking for." The man nods. "Yeah. No way. That guy was an amateur. Everyone knows a real warlord never shakes with the same hand they wear their war watch on. And did you see? He even wiped his hand after. Like shaking me was dirty." Meanwhile, Herkin's already halfway down the street, thinking, "I bluffed that perfectly." The woman asks if they're still keeping tabs on Henry. The man nods. The nest egg quest is too important to risk. Before we can even appreciate her design properly, she vanishes back into the shadows. Herkin, of course, saw all of it. And now he's 100% certain. These two aren't from any public guild. No banners, no introductions, just secret tests and shady behavior. So the real question is, who the hell are these people? Back in the forest, while his skeletons are still training like good little boneheads, Herkin is busy overthinking life. Something feels off. There's the egg quest, that video he posted, and those two weirdos who weren't even curious about the masked player's identity. Nope, they only cared about who triggered the quest. Which basically means congratulations, Herkin, you're now stuck doing this mission with people tailing you. Perfect. Just what he wanted while trying to keep a low profile. And honestly? Same. My guy should just run. Because dealing with Chassis Leon alone is already too much. Speaking of her, here comes her secretary, Park Suji, cheerfully praising her boss for being incredible today. Then she casually asks how the recruitment test went. Spoiler, it didn't. Seelan groans that the whole thing was a train wreck, nothing but trash applicants. Useless, pathetic, talentless trash. Then Suji brings up the masked boy, and wonders if maybe he joined another guild since he ignored their invitation. Bad idea. Seelan immediately snaps, shattering a bottle in frustration. She demands to know who recruited him. Suji apologizes, saying they're still investigating. Seelan doesn't care, she wants answers now. And while she's at it, she also wants to know what the chairman thinks. Suji says he hasn't commented yet, and Seelan scoffs, of course not. He'll stay quiet as long as her guild, Warlord, keeps racking up wins. Oh, and fun family trivia, apparently, this same chairman once tried to marry her off when she said she wanted to play the game. Suji, meanwhile, is quietly admiring her boss's body and blurts out, "Wow, what a figure. And didn't see that coming. HR violation? Maybe. Do we care? Not really." Anyway, while all that's imploding, our boy Herkin is off in the swamp staring at his reflection, looking all moody. It's been a while since he's been here. The Lizard Man Swamp. Since the quest's about an egg, it's probably tied to something bird, reptile, or insect related. And given his level, the swamp is the only semi-manageable option. Lucky him. He summons a skeleton and warns him, monsters here are tough, so they'll need that new enhancement skill. The Madness Mark. Basically, you slap a rune on your summon and it gets stronger. But big catch, there's also a chance the summon loses its sanity. Guess which side of the coin Herkin flips? Yeah, the skeleton immediately loses it and charges him like a deranged linebacker. Herkin uppercuts him so hard the poor guy takes flight like Team Rocket. Straight into orbit. While he's still wondering if the skill's just a scam, a level 30 lizard man sneaks up and tries to snack on him. Perfect chance for a field test. He slaps the Madness Mark again, equips his bone armor, and his skeleton squad goes berserk. The lizards freeze, Herkin charges, and bam. It's a full-on 3 versus 3 brawl. Except the skeletons pull a sneaky flank and slice the lizardmen up clean. Victory. XP boost. Level up. The little boneheads kneel before their master, and Herkin is finally like, "Okay, this is actually awesome. Plan for the week, grind, level, find the egg. Easy." Except, oh look, another shady woman enters stage left. Because this game clearly runs on a dangerous women per minute quota. She's Ilya, and she introduces herself like some final boss femme fatale. "I'm gorgeous, irresistible, everyone obeys me." Cool story. Except she immediately trips face first into moss. Queen of Grace, everyone. Apparently, one of her brain-dead slaves dragged her here and promptly got killed, leaving her stranded in a high-level zone. Now she spots Herkin and decides to bait him the old-fashioned way, tear some clothes, fake a sprained ankle, and act helpless. Herkin? Doesn't even blink. Just ignores her. Keeps walking. She's floored. How could anyone resist her charm? She whines, cries, begs, clings. He finally turns and flatly asks what kind of help she actually wants. Turns out she lost her little sword in the swamp. Sure. He agrees to help but only if she promises to get lost afterward. She gushes gratitude but is secretly plotting to backstab him. The sword's stuck on a tiny island, so Herkin orders the skeletons to trampoline fetch it. While they're busy, she sneaks up behind him, raises her weapon, and whispers about teaching him a lesson for ignoring a beauty like her. Big mistake. He whirls around, grabs her by the collar, and yeets her straight into the swamp. She's screaming, swearing revenge, threatening to unleash her fans on him, until she turns around and realizes she's surrounded by lizardmen. And they're not fans. Crunch. Herkin, deadpan as always, tells her to try harder if she wants to trick him. This was just a waste of time. He calls the skeletons back, only to find them trying to mimic her, seductive, routine. Bumps on their heads and everything. He tells them to knock it off before they get even dumber. System notification pops up, player Ilya has died. Herkin's thrilled. Not because he got points, he didn't, but because it's just hilarious. She told him to watch his back, and instead she got stomped. Instant karma. Meanwhile, unseen eyes are still watching him, keeping tabs on every move. And that's where we leave him. One swamp, one psycho woman less, and a whole lot more trouble on the horizon. Boom. Chapter starts and Herkin already stabbed the first guy. No warning, no build-up, just straight violence. The mob screams. He's Ilya's enemy. We're here for revenge. Herkin, deadpan as always, asks. Buddy, quick question, why are you going this far for her? You know she's never gonna give you anything, right? The chubby guy suddenly bursts into a maniacal laugh like he's auditioning for Joker 2. Then he yells. Because I love her. Herkin's response? Slice. Yep, you're a weirdo. Cue Herkin remembering his messy situationship with Lady Ilya. Long story short, she pulled some crazy stunts, he tossed her in a swamp, and she swore eternal vengeance. Fair enough. What he didn't expect was her starting a PR campaign against him. She made a whole video crying about the cruel necromancer in the swamp. Since then, Herkin's been hunted by an army of self-proclaimed Ilya stans. Add that to the stalker weirdos already tailing him from the alley, and his stress levels are off the charts. At this point, he's seriously considering just finding Ilya again and killing her twice to make all this trouble worth it. But then he loots another corpse, finds an unclaimed watch, kisses it like it's a long-lost lover, and pockets 5,000 gold, a goblin boot, and wait for it, a rare tear accessory, the necklace of promise. Value? 800,000, jackpot. Suddenly, life feels a little less miserable. Just as he's celebrating, someone spots him. Hey, it's Ilya's enemy. Herkin doesn't deny it. He just nods like, yep, that's me. Bastard who took her down. And boom, flashback. He remembers 30 people lined up against him. 30. Ain't no way he's winning that, so Herkin does the only logical thing, books it. While running, he wonders how that lunatic Ilya managed to gather such a cult of obsessed weirdos in the first place. But hey, that's what skeleton summons are for. He sends his bony squad to stall the mob. Everyone laughs because skeletons are basic summons. But then the chubby guy shouts about the power of love, and cleaves them in half. Spoiler, not an actual skill. Just raw creep energy. Since most of these players are way higher level than Herkin, remember, he only started a few weeks ago, they chase him down mercilessly. After a long, exhausting run, he finally stumbles into a swamp. But not just any swamp. A purple-tinted swamp he's never seen before. Not in this life. Not in his last life. His eyes light up. New area. Potential quest. Possible loot. Maybe Henry wasn't trolling him after all. Meanwhile, the wannabe Avengers are out searching and spot his skeletons dancing around like backup dancers at a Halloween party. Now they're livid. This bastard killed Ilya and now he's mocking us? The chunky one charges in for his big dramatic anime strike. When suddenly, something huge bursts out of the lake. Chomp. He gets swallowed whole. Everyone freezes. Because that something is a driving lizard. A regional boss. Level 40. Herkin, off to the side, quietly watching. Well, didn't expect that. Normally, it takes a raid group of 20 level 40s to even scratch this thing. He remembers reading on the forums that someone already killed it, so technically it shouldn't even be here. Which means, plot twist, he must have triggered it. And if it spawned when he entered, then the quest he's been chasing is hidden here too. Jackpot. The Otaku Avengers panic immediately. We should retreat. Herkin? Nope. Nah, can't end here. He summons more skeletons, blocks their path, while the lizard slaps one dude into orbit with its tail. Now they're trapped, bones in front, boss behind. That's when they realize, Herkin's already slipping past them. Our boy's in stealth mode, whispering a little. Thanks for the distraction, team. As he heads straight into the monster's nest. Inside, he searches everywhere. No egg. No treasure. Nothing. Until he spots a suspicious purple rock. Meh, close enough. He grabs it, and the system goes ding. Probably not an egg, but who cares? Then, notification, skeleton warrior destroyed. Translation, boss is done eating his allies, and coming back. Time to leave. The nest entrance starts shaking. Monster's back. Herkin nopes out, decides he's just going to hand the rock in as the egg, and call it a day. Quest rewards are garbage anyway, so what's the harm? And that's where we leave him. Sweaty, broke, but somehow holding a possibly priceless, possibly useless purple rock. Back in the swamp, all the smelly Takagoons are face planted in the mud, snoring like pigs at a buffet. Out of nowhere, some guy strolls up to Herkin again, clapping like he's at a comedy show. Wow, Warlord really is a wild game, huh? You get total weirdos like you running around. One of the swamp idiots tries to speak up, but too late. His war watch is already gone. Pickpocket. Clean swipe. Brutal. Our boy doesn't even flinch. He lays it out. He only let them mess around because it was funny, but now his real business is settled, and he's got no time for clowns. Next time? They won't be walking away with their kneecaps intact. The guy practically pees himself while Harkin storms off, muttering that if these fools keep chasing him, he'll start a full-on guild war. But for now, money first, war later. So he calls up the banks a guild like some shady Craigslist dealer. Yo, I saw the lizard dragon in the swamp. Exact location. Yours for 100,000 gold. Boom. Sold. Cut to Himri's office. Our boy awkwardly plops the loot down. Here's that little egg you wanted. Totally real. No scams, promise. Himri doesn't even blink. He just stares at it like it's his long-lost wife. Then he whispers, This is exactly what I was looking for. Good job, kid. Cue confetti in Harkin's brain. What a lucky jackpot. Himri even admits he thought it'd take forever for someone as weak as him to pull it off. That's when it hits Harkin. Wait a second. This bastard knew I was weak and still sent me? Still, he tries to play it cool. Anyway, I gave it my all. How about that next quest and a fat reward? But Himri goes into lecture mode. Apparently, every time they find mutated monsters, these weird stones show up. They've started calling it the Stone of Corruption. And that's when it clicks, oh crap. The edgy knight dude and tall creepy girl from before? Yeah, they were 100% after this very rock. Harkin thought he'd been scammed when the reward was nothing, but turns out he'd been holding a main quest item all along. Plot twist. Himri, still in guilt-tripping mentor mode, admits he knew it'd be too much for the kid but needed to test him against the unknown. Then he asks, So, you ready to face corruption? Harkin, bless his idiot heart, puffs up his chest. I'll give my heart and soul. And Himri instantly. Nah. Dream shattered. He piles on. Face reality, kid. You're level 20. Weak. Useless. Basically dead weight. Harkin tries to defend himself but Himri cuts him off. Fine. Just beg. Say, oh great Himri, master of mages, please let me be your disciple. Yep. The old man's making him grovel. Door slams. New title acquired, disciple of Himri. Translation, public humiliation complete. To rub salt in the wound, Himri makes him repeat it for half an hour. Harkin just wants to go back and punch him in the jaw. Meanwhile in the swamp, the Banks Knights are celebrating. They roasted the big lizard dragon at last. Then out of nowhere, Mr. Glasses guy struts in like he's auditioning for biggest jerk alive. He congratulates them, says their support was adequate, and then coolly demands his real reward. The knights are confused. They thought he just helped out of goodwill, lol. But nope, Glasses guy declares he's taking everything from the nest. They try to explain. Sir, loot already dropped. We picked it all up. Glasses guy smirks. Perfect. He never expected to snag a corruption stone so easily. When he heard about the lizard reappearing, he figured it had to do with that masked kid, meaning the brat must have failed. Time to swoop in. Except, he searches the whole nest and finds nothing. Absolutely zilch. He curses the heavens like a drama queen. That damn brat must have taken it already. Cut back to Harkin, who's living his best life. He's bouncing around yelling. The time has come. After days of surviving on instant noodles, he's finally rich. He sells the swamp info, cashes out, and sees 1,200,001 hit his account. But wait. The Korean payment system comes in like a raid boss and auto-debits everything. He stares at his balance. 856 won. Barely lunch money. Cue despair. Then his phone buzzes. It's Romani, the editor. Still alive? Or did you already give up on YouTube? Oh right, her. The crazy woman. Problem is, he can't record videos while he's grinding nonstop and being hunted by psychos. Between her nagging and Glasses guy ruining his game, his life's a mess. But Harkin shrugs it off. Forget those clowns. He's just a gamer trying to survive. And if money's to be made, he'll do it his way. The camera cuts. New scene. Graveyard. Perfect mood. Harkin strolls in with his skeleton crew like he owns the place. This isn't just a graveyard. No, this is the Forest of the Dead dungeon. And of course, he's rocking that cringe mask again. He grumbles. No matter how many times I walk through here, this place is creepy. But creepy or not, it's prime grinding ground. Perfect for EXP. Perfect for views. Especially with what he's about to pull off. With a snap of his fingers, his skeleton squad rises from the dirt. He smirks. Gear up. It's hunting time. But before the hunt? Introductions. Say hi to the new guy. Out steps this awkward, red glowing twig of a skeleton, his newest summon. Supposedly a gift, or rather, a curse, from that bastard Himri. Problem is, the thing drinks mana like a college kid downing cheap beer. Still, it's part of the plan. And right then, the dungeon delivers. From the earth crawl out a pack of level 33 skeletons. His crew freezes. Confused. Spooked. Family reunion vibes. Like, wait boss, these are us? Harkin claps his hands together and shouts. Wrong. These things aren't you. Once the fight starts, you'll get it. But his skeletons are huddled, shaking like scared puppies. He cracks his knuckles and yells. Enough. Hesitation won't level you up. Today's goal, 100 skeletons in 100 minutes. Don't deliver, and I'm leaving your bony asses behind. That's all it takes. They scatter into battle, crying spectral tears, hacking through enemies while system messages pop one after another. You defeated a skeleton. Your skeleton leveled up. You leveled up. The grind is brutal. Messy. Hilarious. But it works. His boys are adjusting faster than he thought. At this pace? Guaranteed hit video. Romani's gonna love it. Until, boom. The ground shakes. Enter the level 35 warrior skeleton, a rare spawn boss. Shouldn't even be here. But hearken? He doesn't panic. His eyes gleam gold. Jackpot. EXP, fame, money, and maybe dinner. He charges in, nearly gets cleaved in half by a single axe swing. The earth splits, his heartbeat spikes, but he grins. He smashed one of its arms. Now he knows the trick. His crew rallies behind him, all lined up, saluting like soldiers. Perfect sync. Perfect timing. They've got this. Or so he thinks, until the boss faints and nearly ambushes him. Good thing he left a little surprise behind, a fireball trap. The beast burns, collapses, and he laughs. This video is pulling 10,000 views easy. But no time to rest. The real boss sensed the death. The air thickens. A golden skeleton materializes, dripping menace. Level 40. Mage type. Title, Beginner Slayer. And here's the kicker, his summons vanish. Mana gone. All those flashy skills? Drained him dry. He curses. No minions. No safety net. Just him. Fine then. Guess I'll solo it. Aura flares. He charges. The golden skeleton charges. Beams, explosions, purple death raining down. Every step is a gamble. Every dodge nearly kills him. He realizes the secret, break its hands, stop its spells. He smashes bone, cancels casts, grins through the chaos. Then the boss pulls out a move he's never seen before. Purple energy. A freaking Kamehameha blast from its throat. The ground turns into a war zone. He's launched, battered, nearly done. But at the last second, he plays his final card, Demon's Curse. The boss weakens. He leaps high, smashes a punch right between its glowing eyes, and the monster shatters. Victory. EXP plus 97,000. Gold plus 97,000. Title unlocked, Skeleton Slayer. He staggers, smiling through the exhaustion. Level 36 now. But reality sets in, his mana's trash. His summons vanish when he needs them most. And worst of all, every mana boosting title in the early game? He already has it. No more shortcuts. So what now? Easy. Upload the video. Send it to Romani. And go home for some beef ramen. Meanwhile, over at her place, Romani's beating up a teddy bear, yelling if the guy's completely lost it. But funny enough, she's actually hyped. Like, jumping around kind of hyped. She's never seen anyone beat a boss way above their level without taking a single hit. And he did it blind, no clue about the patterns. The footage is so clean, she doesn't even need to edit. Pure gold already. Now comes the tricky part, the title. Our boy's tossing out stuff like, the man who commands the undead. Or, the one-man army. Cool, sure. But Romani just smirks and decides. Nah, it's going to be Emperor of Solo Play. Boom. Name of the series locked. Cut to the Hunter Association, and surprise, he's back to see that bastard again. Feels good now that he's stronger, right? Except the mage just stares like, why you look homeless now? Doesn't matter, deal's a deal. Imbree's Teachings Part 2 complete. Reward? The Book of Osteology. And yes, that's a real word. Boosts skeleton stats by 5%, drops mana costs by 10%. Basically, the perfect buff. Lucky much? But wait, Himri's not done. He pulls out the ring of the corrupted tracker, made from that shiny stone our boy brought. It's busted, plus 9 to all stats. And if you find the matching necklace? Another plus 21. Bro, that's insane. Herkin's already drooling, reaching for it, until Himri yanks it back. Actually, nope. Too valuable. And just waves goodbye. Excuse me? Man just issued a challenge out of nowhere. Then he turns around like, go on, try to take it. Our boy cracks a grin, full sprint, screaming he'll kill the old man if he wasn't an NPC. Hours later, outside the city, ring in hand. Victory. But also muttering how the geezer's insane. Of course, next quest incoming. Himri sent some guy, Miggy, to the castle of Suyu, and shocker, he never came back. Problem is, that's a high-level zone. Translation, more grinding before we even touch that place. That's when Romani pings him. Urgent. About the video. And oh man. 2.35 million views already. What the hell? But only 1,000 likes? Come on people, hit the button. Seriously, 1 million views and no likes? That's criminal. At least some kind souls tossed in donations. Adds up to, yeah, too many zeros to count. The guy's on the floor trying to figure out if it's 3, 4, or 8 zeros. Doesn't matter. He's already dreaming about ribs, brisket, wagyu, the works. Honestly, can't blame him. But here's the twist. One donor really stood out. The Thunder Guild dropped a fat 1 million. Not generosity, pure recruitment bait. They even sent a private message. No reply, of course. He knows this play too well. In his past life, same guild, same tricks. Always pushing, always hounding him in dungeons. Different timeline, same pests. He face bombs, muttering how damn persistent they are. Their leader? Che Salian, filthy rich heiress, top 30 guild in the country. Joining means a 6-figure salary, easy. His so-called friend even calls him lucky. But nah. Back then he told them straight up. I don't care about money. We'll be the strongest on our own. And now? He has to tell himself the same thing. Money's great, sure. But it's too early to sit back. There's grinding to do, quests to clear, skeletons to train. He turns to his summons like. Remember how I soloed the golden one? Yeah, today's your turn. Every single one of you is learning how to fight on your own. And with that, the grind continues. Strongest in the world? They're not there yet. But step by step, they're getting closer. Their next stop? Su Castle. And guess what? No breaks till they got there. Training? Oh, simple enough. Just run the whole way. Anyone who falls behind? Beaten. Yep, real motivational coaching right there. Unsurprisingly, the little guys start bawling and sprinting like their lives depended on it. Which, to be fair, they kind of did. And then she shows up. Ugh. Her again. The hot one. I don't know why, but every time this cursed woman walks on screen all perfectly drawn with sparkly shading, it feels like the author's trying to bribe us into forgiving her sins. Sorry, buddy, still not buying it. Blue Cloak guy, Hatch, another Thunder Guild dude, shows up and asks what Miss Hyamighty is doing, casually sitting on a mountain of dragon corpses like that's a normal chair. She climbs down, all cool, says, nothing. Then immediately flips the conversation to business, the corrupt count. Hatch admits no progress. Translation, they're completely stuck. Cillian? Frustrated. Hydra can't get the main quest before them, it'd be humiliating. Hatch tries to reassure her, saying the top 30 guild leaders are about to meet, so answers are coming. But she brushes him off, declaring she has no interest in sitting around with losers. Cold as ever. Hatch just sighs, thinking, yeah, that's her brand, and warns the guild master to stay sharp. Cut to our boy, who finally slams his bag down and pays off the loan sharks. Huge W. Nami can finally sleep at night without worrying about a surprise knife to the throat. Next objective? Skill books. He grabs a bunch, only to realize, yep, his bank account is back to absolute zero. Man is holding 3 books like. Prepared for this, but didn't think I'd actually hit broke. Anyway, time to study. First skill, fuse monster parts onto your body for extra defense. He tries it with the skeleton boss's horn, and boom, sick armored helm. Plus 5 defense. He even slashes himself with a sword just to flex, and guess what? Not a scratch. Man is hyped. Second skill, Curse of Sloth. Basically slows enemies down. The catch? Stronger enemies eat up more mana. He tested on a confused skeleton and yep, the poor thing's moving like it's stuck in molasses. Very effective. Third skill, the big one, Golem Summon. The ground cracks, skeletons freak out, and boom, a massive golem rises. Finally, he looks like a real necromancer. Best part? It has mirror mode, syncing its moves with his. Sounds OP, right? He throws a punch. Golem does nothing. Skeletons are staring. Then, delayed punch. Turns out, that's the golem's maximum speed. The dude starts laughing on the outside, but inside? He's crying. Man just got scammed. Now for the big guild meeting, top 30 guild leaders. Except, yeah, only 4 people showed up. Awkward. Nurgle from Ares Guild still thanks everyone like he's hosting Comic-Con with 4 attendees. Shev notes a few familiar faces. Then there's Berg, who, yes, is chubby and yes, his name is literally Berg. Beside him is the ever-confusing, constantly renamed Sarah Syrian. Let's just call her Syrian and stop stressing. Berg points out that 29 people were invited, so, where is everyone? Syrian tries to keep it positive, but Nurgle admits it's weird. Normally these guys fight tooth and nail to show up. Suspicious. Anyway, Nurgle drops the bomb. Hydra found the corrupt count's identity. Raid scheduled in 1 month. Shev. Impossible. Everyone else. Hydra's totally cheating. Berg slams table dramatically. If they pull this off, it's game over. Sponsorships, dominance, the whole shebang. Cillian interrupts the whining with her usual, shut up, energy, basically telling them if they're too scared, just leave. Berg, not backing down, asks if she wants to throw hands right now. Shev's like, guys, maybe just today, don't. Nurgle agrees and proposes an anti-Hydra alliance. Share info, don't fight each other, stop Hydra. Shev reluctantly agrees, Berg too. Meeting over. Did anyone ask Cillian what she thought? Of course not. Which is funny, because next scene? Boom, we're at her house. Yep, her house again. Honestly, the author's spending way too much time on this girl. Feels like foreshadowing a redemption arc no one asked for. She's furious, humiliated she couldn't solo the first big boss. Having to team up is beneath her. But Hydra getting ahead? Unacceptable. She orders her guild to keep eyes glued to Hydra. Any move they make, she wants to know. One thing's clear, that corrupt count is hers. Now, we cut back to the association inside the big shiny castle, where our boy Herkin is standing there like a lost puppy asking. Wait, what exactly do you mean by that? The guy across from him, arms crossed like he's the final boss of HR complaints, just drops it. Bora Forest. That's where Miji went missing. Go check it out. Problem? Oh, just the fact Bora Forest is basically monster hell, crawling with level 70 freaks of nature. Even Herkin, king of bluffing, admits, yeah, nah, if even one of those things sneezes at me, I'm dead. But the dude isn't buying it. He's like, sure, for normal people maybe. But you're the disciple of him. If you say no, you lose your corruption tracker gig, along with that shiny ring and necklace you've been flexing. Ouch. That hits deep. Cut to Herkin sulking by a fountain in the city, looking like someone just repoed his car. He pulls up the quest window, and yep, reading the Miji quest is already giving him a migraine. Objective: investigate corrupted stones, finish whatever Miji started. Reward: 500 gold coins and a side of extras. Penalty: lose your title. And Herkin knows, main quests are the one thing you never screw up. But this one? Way out of his league. The difficulty spike just slapped him harder than rent day. Every win he's had so far has been by scraping by with past life knowledge and dumb luck. Now the game has finally said, skill issue bro. This is content designed for level 60 plus parties. And Herkin? Solo queue. GG. So, how's he supposed to handle Boru Forest? Answer: he's not. While he's brooding, he overhears some random dude flirting with a cat girl NPC. The guy brags, Hydra Guild's about to clear the main quest. The cat girl isn't buying it, says even top 30 guilds are stuck. But the guy presses, what happens to everyone else's main quests if Hydra clears theirs? Lightbulb ding. Brainwave. Herkin realizes he doesn't actually need to go charging into Monster Deathland. If someone else clears chapter 1 of the main quest, all the side quests tied to it, including his, auto-clear. Translation: let Hydra do the heavy lifting while he chills. Genius. Meanwhile, cutscene, binocular guy spying on the Count's castle. He mutters, nope, still nothing. His buddy with orange hair, Nadal, watches too. Buddy's curious what the bounty is for killing the Count, but Nadal shuts him down. Their job? Watch the place. No leaks, no mistakes. Enter Kim from the Red Bull Guild, sauntering out of the forest like he owns the place. Nadal demands to know why he's there. Kim smirks, says there's a big monster on the mountain and he's just hunting. Totally not snooping. Nadal's partner ain't buying it, calls him out. Kim sees straight through the bluff, teasing. So what, you camping here to poop or something? Yeah, real mature. He struts off, but it's obvious he knows they're hiding something. Cut again. Chev, living the cozy side character life, here's the report. The anonymous tip they got? Checking out. His girl, sharp as a tack, says she thought it was just a prank. But why would someone drop free info anonymously? Maybe guild infighting? A Hydra member leaking out of spite? Chev shrugs, possible. Kim, ever the hothead, offers to start a skirmish. Chev's like, nah, chill. If that's the Count's castle, Hydra's going to swarm it anyway. No point risking someone like you. Kim blushes, pretending he's not flattered. But just as he's basking in the praise, BM. Explosion. Someone charges at him sword first. It's her. The blonde Storm herself. Thunder Princess Chihuahua, aka Hahui. She's here demanding answers. Kim's standing there like, well, guess we weren't the only ones who got the tip. Cut back to Herkin, who's mid-bear fight. His guard is barely holding against the giant paw swipe. The bear winds up another hit, but it's slow as molasses. Meanwhile, Herkin's skeleton army is chilling on the sidelines wearing 3D glasses, because why not? Herkin? He's distracted. Still no replies to the anonymous emails he sent out. His brilliant plan? Leak the Count's location so someone else finishes the quest for him. After all, Warlord's main quests are broken into chapters. End chapter 1 by killing the Count, and every tied side quest auto-completes. Easy mode. And boom, a notification. Hydra Guild just went live. Perfect timing. Herkin slaps the bear on the head like, down boy, I'm trying to watch TV. The skeletons crowd around as the Hydra stream starts. Some Hydra rep announces they'll reveal the identity of the corrupt Count and the raid date. All Herkin cares about. That it's soon. His quest timer is ticking. They announce it, but it's censored on screen. Of course. Then the panel flips, raid in 3 days. Herkin exhales like he just dodged rent collectors. That's way sooner than expected. The skeletons glare at him, fully aware he forced this by leaking info. Doesn't matter, now it's a guild race to clear the Count. Back to the bear fight, Herkin's relieved. He doesn't care if Hydra takes the credit. Someone else can suffer Boru Forest. His main quest clears, he survives. As far as he's concerned, that's a win. And just like that, cut. Scene change. Hydra Guild? Yeah, they're done. Completely wiped. We open on some poor guy getting absolutely yeeted into the dirt, while the quest notification cheerfully says, failed. Herkin's reaction? Beautiful. He straight up frisbees his phone into the ground and starts screaming at the air. How? How do you idiots rush a corrupt Count's castle with zero plan and get folded in less than an hour? My guy's pounding the dirt like a gamer who just lost to lag. So now he's spiraling. What are my other options? What do I do now? Cue the next stream going live. Red Bull Guild's turn. Oh yeah, he knows this one. The guild led by none other than the infamous Slayer Chev. Chev's on screen, doing the whole dramatic speech thing. Hydra's castle reset proves they failed. Take a good look, this enemy crushed them. We don't have many resources left, our odds are slim. But screw it, we're Red Bull. We accept the challenge. Everyone's in chat spamming. Red Bull. Red Bull. While Herkin's just side-eyeing the screen like, bro, don't tell me you're about to pull the same Hydra-level clown move. And then Chev drops the bomb, a special guest joins the raid. Enter the Queen of Thunder herself, Chelin. The Thunder Empress. The walking natural disaster. The nightmare in heels. Herkin's face? Priceless. Full-on panic. Wait, why the hell is she on my screen? Flashback time. Before this, she called a meeting. Shev shows up expecting blood, only for Chelin to smile like a shark and say, "Relax, I'm not here to fight. Beating your guys into paste earlier? That was just me saying hi." Yeah. That was her idea of small talk. Then she gets down to business. She knows he's got info on the corrupt count. Shev tries to bluff. Chelin's like, "Cut the crap. I know you leaked it to half the guilds in the top 30. Don't play dumb." Shev awkwardly admits, fine, yeah, he knows a thing or two, but nothing solid. Chelin leans in, tapping her sword on the table, eyes sparkling with mischief. "So, think Hydra's gonna pull it off?" Shev hedges. She smirks. "They won't. They rushed the date, they're desperate. The first area boss? Please. They're doomed." Shev's sweating. "Okay, then what are you implying?" And that's when she casually slams her sword into the table and says, "Team up with me. I'll even let you take first kill." This woman, cold, bold, stacked, and terrifying. Shev's jaw? On the floor. He thought she was trolling. Nope. Dead serious. Back to the present. There she is, live on stream, absolutely dismantling mobs like their tutorial slimes. Doesn't break a sweat. But then, the big man shows up. The corrupt count himself. "You're strong," he says, looming over them. "But your will to fight ends here." Suddenly? Boom. Army of creatures floods in. Guilds getting shredded. Shev sees the writing on the wall, drops to one knee, and pulls the noble sacrifice card. "I'll carve a path. Go, Thunder Queen!" He slams his sword, parts the sea of enemies, and Chelin charges. The boss roars, flings a storm of tentacles, but Chelin dances through them like she's starring in an action trailer. She leaps, sword raised, ready to strike, and then BM. She's skewered midair. Everyone watching thinks it's over. But nah. She plays dead, then instantly rebounds, eyes blazing. That was bait. She launches forward, slices the corrupt count clean in half, and stands over the corpse like it was nothing. Absolute queen behavior. Shev? He's just staring like he saw God. She's scarier than I imagined. Meanwhile, Herkin is fuming. She stole his victory moment. But deep down? Doesn't matter. The corrupt count's dead. Mission accomplished. He doesn't care who got the glory. Let her enjoy the spotlight, for now. Because in the end, his revenge arc has her name written all over it. Smash cut, Buka's Mountains. Our boys there, all dramatic, swearing to become the strongest and take down every bastard who ruined his life. Noble dream. Inspiring words. Too bad his daily reality is 90% running for his life from overleveled mobs. Couple hours earlier though, he managed a sneaky play. He slipped into a locked zone that only opens once the corrupt count dies. First player in? Yup, that's him. Title unlocked. +2 stats across the board. Easy win. He struts in, summons the skeleton squad, declares it's his time to shine, and immediately aggroes a swarm of level 60 boars. Reminder, he's level 41. Do the math. Bad math. Cut to present, him sprinting for his life, shrieking, skeletons dying left and right. Each one getting one shot while he panics. But hey, secret plan. He wanted them dead. Because their deaths trigger the curse of sloth, freezing the mobs. He whips out his sword, ready to clean house, and immediately faceplants on a banana peel. Don't ask me why there are banana peels in a cursed mountain. RNG is cruel. To make it worse, an armored monkey, yes, a monkey in armor, drops onto his head like it's slapstick comedy hour. Curse wears off, boars are free again, Herkin's about to be boar chow, when zap zap zap. Bolts tear through the mobs, wiping the field. He whirls around to see his savior, and wait. Is that? Profile card says Elven Archer Girl. Standing there? Full-grown mustached uncle. Game devs trolling, or identity crisis. Jury's out. Cut back to Sioux Castle. Some guild nerds are watching this unfold, talking about mystery players, masks, leaks. Blah blah. Nobody knows who leaked the dungeon info. Nobody knows about Herkin. They're scrambling. Meanwhile? Deep in the forest, Herkin's grinning like a maniac. Yep, I'm a disciple of him. Lucky, blessed, destined for greatness. Total smug energy. He thinks he's found Meiji, the guy he's supposed to rescue, but nah. This is Mong. Different guy. Still important. Turns out Mong's an ex-royal trainer turned mountain captain. And guess what? He's the NPC trigger for Chapter 2 of the main quest. Jackpot. Herkin plays it cool, feeding him lines about following traces of corruption, just to make the quest start. Mong takes the bait, gives him a trust quest. Kill 50 monsters, earn 500 gold, plus his respect. Most people? Terrified. Herkin? Hyped. Free XP, free loot, perfect training ground for his summons. He's all in. Until, of course, he hears a branch snap. Turns around. Giant armored monkey staring him down like it's round 2. Later on, still deep in the cursed comedy club known as the Baka's Mountain Dungeon, absolute nonsense is unfolding. One player slips on a banana peel. Then another. And another. This goes on for a solid minute like it's a low-budget cartoon. And what's the armored monkey doing? Sitting on a branch, laughing. Yes. Laughing. This thing isn't a mob, it's a stand-up comedian with armor. Then a new player enters the area. The monkey instantly locks in like, ah yes, fresh victim. It crouches ready to pounce. And suddenly Herkin just spawns behind it like a horror movie villain. I finally found you. The monkey slowly turns around. Awkward eye contact. Pure tension. Herkin's face? Unhinged. Full revenge mode. He declares he's going to destroy this furry menace and charges in with his sword. Only to miss. And miss again. And again. The monkey is dodging like it downloaded Ultra Instinct DLC. Herkin swings, lunges, spins, nothing connects. Then the monkey suddenly boosts its speed and zooms away through the trees like a caffeinated squirrel. Now Herkin's chasing it, furious, mentally ranting about how annoying speed builds are and how every single tree in this forest personally exists to block his attacks. He finally stops on a branch, breathes, and switches tactics. Instead of chasing, he eats his sword. The monkey notices and panics. The blade slams into a tree right next to its head, literally centimeters away. The monkey starts laughing again like, nice throw, idiot. But Herkin just smirks. Distraction. Cue dramatic rumble. A golem rises behind the monkey and delivers one earth-shattering punch straight to its armored spine. One hit. Devastating damage. Monkey Airlines, direct flight to the ground below. No return ticket. System notification pops up. Title earned, first to defeat the armored ape. Herkin watching from a distance like a chess grandmaster who just sacrificed a pawn and won the board. Absolute satisfaction. Meanwhile, above ground? Cameras everywhere. News crews losing their minds. But guess who's getting all the spotlight? Red Bull Guild and the Thunder Hunters. Chev and the Thunder Queen standing there like raid royalty while everyone cheers. Reporter shoves a mic at the Thunder Queen. Any words? She smiles slightly. We were lucky. We'll try harder next time. Translation, I carried, but I'm being polite. Off camera though? She's not smiling. She's irritated. Haley tries to hype her up, saying she was incredible, that the last wave looked impossible until she solo deleted the corrupted count. But the Queen shakes her head. We were lucky. We needed Red Bull, and we're still missing one player. Name drop Masahaho. Yep. The mysterious mask player. The one accidentally becoming a legend while just trying to survive. She tells Haley to call Hutch. Haley's like, why do you need that loser? The Queen's face goes serious. Because we have a target to hunt. Cut back to our boy, blissfully unaware he's now on multiple hit lists. System message, equipment durability 0. Destroyed. Herkin stares at his broken sword. Silence. Then pure irritation. He needs new gear. He has no money. Which means, gem farming. The most soul-crushing grind known to gamers. Gems barely drop, but they're essential for crafting, each with special effects based on the monster. And guess which monster drops the best ones? Yep. Armored monkeys. So he summons his skeleton army and declares war on the entire monkey population. 9 hours later. Nothing. Not a single gem. He's standing on a literal mountain of monkey corpses questioning reality itself. Statistically, I should have at least one. His eyes are twitching. Luck stat clearly set to negative numbers. He screams that he'll try again. This has to be the lucky run, when suddenly, a stranger approaches. Full dragon armor. Shiny. Expensive. Screaming. I spent real money. Orc Hero's sword. Level 70 minimum. Walking flex. The guy calls out, claiming Herkin must be the masked Tahoe. Herkin immediately goes on guard. Who is this walking equipment advertisement? The stranger introduces himself as Kyoto. Then, he starts posing. Weird martial arts anime poses. Freezes mid-stance and officially challenges Herkin to a duel like he's in a tournament arc. Herkin just stares. What kind of weirdo did I just unlock? Kyo proudly explains he's seen Masahaho trending on WTube, and believes that if he defeats him, he'll become famous too. Herkin's internal response, ah. Another clout goblin. He turns away, saying he's busy. Kyo refuses to leave. Starts yelling for him to wait. And there we have it, our hero, broke, gearless, gemless, mentally exhausted, now being stalked by a fame-hungry level 70 cosplayer while standing on a pile of dead monkeys. So this dragon-armored attention seeker suddenly yells. I'll pay 5,000 gold if you fight me. Herkin, who 2 minutes ago was spiritually bankrupt, gearless, and emotionally broken, instantly spins around like someone just said, free Wi-Fi. He sprints over, grabs Kyoto's hand, and happily accepts. Ah, my favorite client. Yes. Client. Man didn't get challenged to a duel, he got hired. Now let's talk about Kyoto. In his own head? Hero of justice. Main character. Prodigy. In reality? Background NPC with premium cosmetics. In every other game he played, people noticed him. Praised him. Worshipped him. But in Warlord? Nobody cares. All he hears is, Did you see the new Mask Haho video? Mask Haho this. Mask Haho that. The algorithm betrayed him. He literally punches the ground screaming that this guy is putting him to sleep. Because they started at the same time. He's higher level. Better gear. Better stats. And yet somehow, the internet chose the skeleton summoner clown. Tragic. Then he remembers how he even found him. Wandering around, salty as ever, he spots a player surrounded by tiny summons. Zoom in. Mask Haho. And instead of asking why is this dude farming in a lock zone, Kyoto's brain goes, ah yes! Perfect opportunity for content. Plan, beat him. Record it. Upload. Become famous. Foolproof. Absolutely no flaws. So what does this genius do next? He takes off all his equipment. Everything. Leaves only the helmet. Herkin. Why are you undressing before a fight? Kyoto proudly explains it's for fairness. He heard Herkin's armor broke, so he wants a true one-on-one. No excuses. No gear advantage. Pure skill. In other words, he nerfed himself for YouTube. Herkin is genuinely unsure if this man is real. But Kyoto doesn't wait. He charges in yelling for the fight to start like he's late for a bus. First exchange, Herkin dodges. Second, dodges again. Third, still dodging. Kyoto starts getting mad. Fight back already! Herkin casually replies. Why don't you make me? Instant emotional damage. Kyoto activates stimulator, speed buff, aura glowing, dramatic music playing in his head. He lands a clean hit and sends Herkin flying like a ragdoll mod just got installed. Herkin hits the ground and immediately analyzes. Okay. He looks stupid, but he actually hurts. Direct fight equals bad idea. Time for dirty tactics. Round 2. Kyoto buffs again and rushes in for the heroic finishing blow. Herkin throws a handful of dirt straight into his eyes. Yes. The ancient forbidden technique, pocket sand. While Kyoto's screaming and blinking, Herkin sweeps his legs, sends him rolling across the ground like a dropped bowling ball, and explains mid-fight that raw stats can be countered by skill. Then comes the combo. Kick to the face. Uppercut. Kyoto gets launched into a tree like he signed a contract with gravity. Kyoto, furious, yells that this isn't real skill. Herkin just grins. In a life-or-death fight, nobody cares about your pride. Translation: this isn't esports. This is survival. Then Herkin activates skin grafting and equips the armored ape skin. System notification, stats boosted. Defense up. Power up. He basically just turned himself into a discount boss monster. Kyoto's internal monologue. If I get hit once, I'm dead. Herkin steps forward with the face of a tax collector who finally found your address. You started this. Be ready for the ending. Kyoto charges. Then immediately panics. Starts screaming. Wait. And bursts into tears mid-sprint, surrendering on the spot. Too late. Herkin's attack is already swinging down, a wave of destruction tearing through the air. At the very last second, he shifts the blow slightly. It crashes beside Kyoto's head instead of into it. The tree behind him? Gone. The trees behind that tree? Also gone. Environmental damage set to maximum. Kyoto is standing there shaking. Not. I lost the game. Shaking. More like. I just remembered mortality exists. Shaking. For a second he genuinely forgot this was a virtual world. That's how close he came to becoming decorative terrain. Herkin, meanwhile, bursts out laughing and holds out his hand like a shopkeeper closing a sale. All right. 5,000 gold. As promised. Then, very kindly, he adds, I'm sure you'd rather pay than log out for 2 days, right? Ah, yes. Mercy, with interest. Kyoto slowly removes his helmet like a defeated anime rival. And then, plot twist. He starts praising him. You're amazing. Truly strong. Incredible. Herkin's face immediately turns suspicious. Why is this guy being nice? Is this a trap? Is he buffering? But no. The blonde actually hands over the 5,000 gold. And his sword. Herkin lifts it up, checks the stats, and almost chokes. Legendary Orc Hero Sword. Auction value? At least 15,000 gold. Internally, screaming. Externally, poker face of a monk who has seen enlightenment. He asks why on earth Kyoto is giving him something that expensive. Kyoto admits the truth. He was blinded by popularity. Chasing fame. Barely improving himself. This be down? A life lesson wrapped in blunt force trauma. He insists Herkin deserves it. Calls him, brother. Herkin stares. There's definitely stupidity here. But somewhere deep inside, there's also charisma. So naturally, he kicks him. Did you really expect me to respond emotionally to that? Then orders his skeletons to escort the impediment out. Later, with a swollen face and zero dignity, Kyoto declares, My full name is Don Quillote. I'll return when I'm worthy to call you brother. Herkin walks away pretending not to care. But he's smiling. Because unlike most players, this idiot is actually having fun. He glances at the new sword. Well? Guess I don't need monkey gems anymore. Pause. Maybe just another 100 monkeys. The skeletons immediately grab him like concerned coworkers staging an intervention. No. Back at HQ, he hands in the loot. Maven starts reading the report like a tax audit. 950 armored monkeys. 104 fanged wolves. 76 poisonous lizards. He praises Herkin for the progress, then notices his weird expression. Herkin awkwardly admits he's just thinking about how to spend his money. Maven then drops the next mission like a horror trailer. A fighting bear has appeared near the peak. 4 meters tall. Wearing armor. Using weapons. Basically a medieval tank with anger issues. If Herkin can figure out where their gear comes from, it helps the investigation. Translation. Yes, please go fight the metal bear. Maven even asks if going alone is too dangerous. Herkin, already halfway standing up, says he's got it handled. He knows how to fight bears now. Confidence level suspiciously high. He arrives at the mountain base, summons the skeletons, and announces it's time to flex. First stop? Auction house. He buys the bone snake set piece by piece. Shoulders. Boots. Gloves. Helmet. He's glowing. This is what wealth feels like. For about 12 seconds. He turns around and sees the skeletons staring at him with pleading hollow eye sockets. Right. Equipment for the team. He opens the menu again. Insufficient funds. Silence. He slowly turns back. The money's gone. The skeleton's expressions darken. If bones could glare, these ones just unlocked a new emote. Herkin panics and starts explaining that it wasn't on purpose. Which is exactly what someone says. Right before getting judged by their own undead employees. And right when Herkin is busy apologizing to his skeletons for committing financial betrayal. Wild monsters suddenly spawn nearby like the universe itself decided. Yeah, this guy needs a side hustle. Before he can even give orders, the skeleton squad charges in on their own. No strategy. No formation. Just pure unpaid intern aggression. Herkin instantly perks up. Ah. Yes. Excellent. Emergency income. The skeletons absolutely bully the boars. One after another drops. Herkin watches with the relieved expression of a man who just found coins in last winter's jacket. Perfect timing, he mutters. Soon only one boar remains. It's shaking. Terrified. Staring at a skeleton who is licking its sword. Yeah. That boar saw its entire bloodline flash before its eyes. Herkin tells them to hurry up and finish it. He's already mentally spending the loot on equipment upgrades. And then, boom. A random attack deletes the boar before they can. Herkin turns around like, excuse me? That was my paycheck. Out of the bushes emerge 3 players with maximum attitude and minimum threat level. They demand to know who he thinks he is hunting here without permission. This is Apollo Guild territory. Herkin squints at them. Internal analysis complete. Conclusion. NPC Tergoons. They introduce themselves dramatically. Li Chang. Wang Chang. Il Chang. Together. The great trio of Apollo! Herkin laughs. Not a chuckle. A full body. You can't be serious. Laugh. Then he proceeds to fold all 3 like poorly assembled lawn chairs. A couple of strikes. Done. Tutorial enemies cleared. He walks away wondering why everyone keeps picking fights with him lately. Maybe he does need a priest. Or an invisibility cloak. Or both. Behind him, Wang Chang barely lifts his wrist and sends a report to headquarters, swearing vengeance with the remaining 2% of his HP. Cut to Apollo Guild HQ. A man sits beside a massive tiger like a villain who shops exclusively in Intimidation Weekly. He confirms the report, casually tosses a gold bar, and orders. Bring him to me. At any cost. Ah yes. Another guild leader whose personality is, my pride has a budget. Meanwhile, Herkin reaches the territory of the fighting bears and pauses to admire the view. Then he looks at his skeletons, who are posing again. One's flexing. One's pretending to meditate. One is doing something that might be yoga or skeletal malfunction. He bonks them on the head. Focus. He lays out the plan. Level 70 War Bear. 3 stages. No mistakes. Victory means leverage against the top 30 guilds. The skeletons immediately raise their hands like obedient kindergarten students. Honestly impressive for creatures without muscles. And right on cue. A thunderous roar echoes. Herkin sighs. Of course. Say the boss name, and it spawns. A gigantic armored war bear appears. He activates his watch, gears up instantly, and declares he's claiming this quest. Confidence level, heroic. Survival rate, negotiable. Elsewhere in the mountains, another player arrives grumbling like a businessman forced into overtime. He just watched the monkey video and now he's here looking for Mashaho, questioning every life decision that led him to this wilderness. He hears a noise. The king of the wild boars charges him. He doesn't even blink. draws a magic circle, drops hellfire. The boar is instantly converted into charcoal with emotional trauma. Because this man is Baptiste Hatch of the Thunder Hunters, ranked 5th among all mages and warlord. And unlike everyone else chasing rumors, he's actually hoping the Mask of Haho shows up.
And this is how this part of this manhwa ends. Also in the future I will be bringing more and more exciting videos. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, hit the like button and stay tuned until the next video.